Kerbal Space Program. Zombies in Space. Episode 7. Distracted Piloting, Part 1. So in this episode, you'll learn why you probably shouldn't be talking on the phone while playing this game. Well, yeah. This will be one example of why you shouldn't be talking on the phone while playing this game. In the last episode, we managed to get a ship up into orbit. Seemed to have plenty of fuel. And I decided I will try to do a flyby of Minimus to collect a bunch of science without the risk of landing, which I seem to have been having some issues with lately. So we'll do the flyby, get a bunch of science, and move along. But then, as I'm doing these things, as you will see, and as sadly seems to often happen in these videos and in this game, I start to get greedy, and I actually find a trajectory that will allow me to fly by Minimus and Mun. And so, of course, I decide that would be excellent. And so there we go. Need to adjust it a little bit, and look, a trajectory that will actually have me fly by both. So I'm thinking this is going to be a great thing. Wonderful stuff is going to happen. I will get lots of science. And along those lines, check all my fuel. So I've lost, well, I shouldn't say lost, but I've used the booster, all the booster stages, but I do have those extra fuel tanks. And yeah, so for whatever reason I decided to look at the science tree. Realistically, I probably could have edited this part. Not sure why this is important. I don't have the points to buy anything. Oh well. Oh yeah, as you can see, I've not properly installed the Kerbal attachment system, so some of the parts are showing up twice. I'll have to fix that. Or maybe I won't, because the new update should be coming up soon. And we'll see how that affects all my files in there. Oh yes, and this is what I was looking at, because I haven't really done anything with the mapping system, and I still have to unlock that, and I haven't really done anything with the whole Kethane thing either. So shortly I will be building a satellite to be doing the mapping and to detect Kethane. That should be good. Okay, let's get back to what we're supposed to be doing here. Alright, a bit more simple 3. There's Mun. Yes. Let's move forward. Exploration is good. Science is even better. So trying to get my flyby and get a bunch of science in. That would be wonderful. Okay. Well, there's Kerbin. There's Mun. Speed up the time, and we'll go flying along. And, well, yes, for the fact that I was on the phone and distracted, and I probably could have just set an alarm for this so that I could get my science in at the right time. And like I say, it looked great. I had a trajectory for both Mun and Minimus, although it looked like at the end of it all I would be on a really strange incline to my orbit, but that's okay, because once you're just returning to Kerbin, it doesn't really matter what angle you're at. Oh, do some science. High radiation environment caused a few of the samples, whatever, too fast. Observe mystery goo. Goo feels right at home here. Write that down. Okay. Getting science. Crew report. Nothing useful there. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of this science could have been covered before. Anyway, I'll try the EVA report. And nothing interesting to learn about that. Okay. Here we go. Add a maneuver for some strange reason. Okay, yeah, just to make sure. Yeah, that's one of the things about this game. A lot of times it'll look like you've got a good trajectory, and it looks like you're going to actually meet up with the planets and get within their orbital influence, and then suddenly you're not. I don't quite know what that's about. I guess some of it's with the physics, and especially if you do time acceleration, weird things happen to the calculations or something, but you can't always count on a trajectory that you've set being the way you want it to be by the time you get to where you're going. So you may have to make some changes along the way. And see, now it looks like I'm going to Minimus, but I'm not encountering Mun, so who knows. A few seconds ago I was, but whatever. We will continue on. Oh, and there goes, there's Kerbin, there's Mun circling around it, and then for some reason I decide, oh hey, let's look at it over this way. No, actually, I think I'm trying to do the crew report, which was useless. And the EVA report, which will probably be useless as well. Yeah. Anyway, alright. So here we go. Here we go, we're getting there. 7 days. So we'll watch Kerbin spin, and we'll watch Mun go around it, and we'll go, and we'll go, and we'll go, and I went too far. Yeah, see, being on the phone and not setting an alarm, not good. So I figure, okay, I'll set another trajectory, and we'll meet up. There he is. There it is. It's right over there. Try and set up another meeting with Minimus. And instead of actually following the trajectory, I figure, what if I just burn straight at it? So I try that for a while. That's the other scary thing. When you've got lots of fuel, you decide, hey, I can try this, I can try that. It doesn't always work as well as you think. But I do have an encounter with Mun. Not what I'm looking for right now. And now I could be bounced right out of Kerbin's sphere of influence, and now I'm back again. Anyways, crazy times indeed. Crazy times indeed. So at that point I decide, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to try and plot an actual trajectory to get me back into Minimus's sphere of influence. And just having some fun trying to get it. But there we go, we have an encounter. We have an encounter again. Because the first time wasn't good enough, apparently. So we'll set up that burn, and this time I actually aim for the target because I'm actually going to follow what I've plotted and try not to miss the window for burning on this one. Okay. Less than a minute to go. And we're coming up to time to accelerate. Here we go. Burning, burning, burning. And we have an encounter. So I'll lower my maximum height there. Oh yeah, you can still see Minimus and Mun from where we are. And there's Minimus, and we're gonna head straight for it. Well, okay, not straight for it. Things don't usually go straight when you're talking about orbital mechanics. You get a lot of curves. A lot of curves involved. Not much going straight at all, really. Even when you're landing, there's not a whole lot of straight going on. Between the surface you're landing on actually spinning underneath you and gravity pulling you while your craft is moving in another direction. Yeah, there's not a lot of straight lines. Okay, Goo feels right at home here, high above Minimus. So, observe materials bay. High radiation environment caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like it'd be fun to paint the rocket with this because, well, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to paint the rockets. Oh, looking at the surface, Minimus reminds you of a favorite childhood dessert. You're tempted to take and taste the surface. Yes, the zombies must have food. Minimus looks like food. EVA report. You record your observation about the situation. All right, write that down. Write that down. And this is looking good. Just check, make sure you're not going to actually slam into the surface. Although at that height, I don't know. That's going to be skimming pretty low, especially considering it's a flyby. It's going to be a rather fast-moving, low flyby of the surface here. And that's okay. And right now it's just slow anyway. Be good to accelerate things. I don't know. Maybe I was getting paranoid about being distracted, or I was just busy talking on the phone and I was like, oh yeah, I could accelerate, but I'm not going to because I already messed things up once. Okay. And we still got plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel for the return trip. But I decided to start transferring stuff over. And realistically, with this spacecraft, I'm not entirely sure what the point of transferring the fuel is. It's not like I'm avoiding using engines by having those tanks empty. And it's not like I am... Yeah, and I'm trying to balance things out. It's not like I am going to be able to ditch those parts of the craft, because at other times I would do something like that and then just drop some parts of the spacecraft so that I'd have less mass to push around as I'm traveling through the universe, which would save on fuel, but there is no way to just ditch those parts. So I really don't know what that whole fuel transfer thing was about. Moving the mass more to the center, I don't know. That's not that important since I'm not landing it anyway. I really don't know. But here we go. Doing some more science, or attempting to. Have to get in closer. Not close enough. Yeah. So we're moving in. We're moving in. Still hundreds of thousands of meters away. Well, okay, not hundreds, but Over 100. Not anymore. So we're getting in closer. Zombies need food badly. In high radiation environment cause a few samples to glow. It looks like it'd be fun to paint the rocket with this. Write it down. No, not reset. Oh, I reset it. Okay, I guess I decided I could better gather science somewhere else. Reset. Oh, you can barely see Kerbin and Moon over there. Okay, moving forward. So it'll be nice when I can unlock more of the science equipment and I can maximize the amount of science that I can gather at any one time, at any one place. That will make a huge difference for sure. In terms of doing the Kethane, I think I'll be checking out the Kethane at Kerbin first, just to test the equipment and see how everything works. And then realistically, I'm thinking Minimus makes a much better base of operations than Moon, because it would take a lot less to land there, less fuel, less effort. It's a lot easier to land on Minimus, and it won't take a whole lot of fuel to lift off of Minimus either. So if you're refueling ships on Minimus or in orbit, oh, the lake bed seems relatively flat. Perhaps we should land there, or could land there. Alright, there's a thought. You recorded your observations about the situation. Above Minimus's Midlands. Midlands. Okay, so I might as well transmit the reusable stuff. It's an easy decision to make, especially in the game, early in the game, when all your reusable stuff basically transfers at 100%. Later on, when your reusable stuff isn't as worthwhile to do, if you're transmitting it, you're better off just bringing the stuff home. But if you're actually exploring another planet, or the moon of another planet, sometimes it's not a bad idea just to send things back, just in case you can't return your craft. So try another crew report. Apparently I'm not over a different biome, so it doesn't matter. Observe mystery goo. Goo feels right at home here. Again, you know, it looks like I'll get a pile of science for that, but because I've duplicated things, keep that. Write it down. Because I've duplicated things, I will not get double the amount of science, but I should get a little bit more for repeating the experiment. So that's not a bad thing. And again, there's nothing there. It's the Midlands again. And that's another thing with the mapping program, or the mapping mod. Apparently it will allow you to create biome maps, but I think I read it only allows you to create biome maps for Kerbin and Moon right now. So other things should come up as they update it, I guess. I would imagine Minimus will be next, which will be handy. Oh, Minimus slopes. Record your observations about the situation. I can see a slope. Let's admit that. So we're at just 1,000 meters, just over 8 kilometers. And we're approaching a rather high spot here, so kind of glad that we're not sitting at about 4,000 meters on this one, because I think it's over 4,000. It's supposed to be our low point, but I'm not sure how high that thing goes. And so here a bunch of lake beds come together. I figured try do an EVA report. Still says it's the slopes. Things from a different angle. See when I get over that little lake bed there. Maybe it will be considered a different biome. Maybe not. But it doesn't hurt to try check it out. It just makes the video last longer, that's all. Yeah. EVA report. Still says Minimus slopes. Try it again. Midlands. Reset. Okay, so if these are the slopes in the Midlands, and oh yes, just above Minimus's flats. Write that down. 32 science. Excellent. And we've pretty much reached the low point on our trajectory, so that's good enough for this episode. In the next episode, we'll try get this thing back home and collect a pile of science. See ya.